honorable delegates, head of state, leader of nations, distinguished representative of peoples great and small. I greet you not as a career diplomat, nor as a man bred for banquets and horns and handshakes. I do not come to you speaking the rehearsed language of politics. I come to you as a soldier of my people, as a guardian of a wounded land, as a son of a continent that has carried the cross of the world, yet has never worn its crown. My name is Captain Ibrahim Traore, President of Burkina Faso, and today I speak not only for the 22 million souls in my nation, but for a continent whose stories have been twisted, whose pain has been ignored, and whose dignity has been repeatedly auctioned off. At the altar of foreign interest, Africa is not a beggar. Africa is not a battlefield. Africa is not your experiment, your purpose, your warehouse of raw materials. Africa is rising not to knees but to stand. And today I say, before this great assembly of nations, Africa will not kneel. One of the false generosity of global politics. For decades you have sent us as with one hand while exchanging our lifeblood with the other. You build wells in our village while your corporation drain our rivers. You donate vaccines, yet patent the cures. You speak of climate action, yet continue to fund the very forces that burn our forests and dry our lakes. What kind of generosity is this? The kind that feeds the mouth but silences the voice. The kind that keeps a man alive just enough to keep him dependent. We are not blind to this his hypocrisy. Let me be clear. We are not ungrateful for sincere humanitarian. We are not ungrateful for sincere humanitarian assistance, but we reject a global order that disguises exploitation as a partnership. We reject financial institutions that lend with one hand Einstein sovereignty, Einstein sovereignty with the other. Africa no longer wants charity. We want justice. We want control over our own destinies. Too, on the chains of colonialism and its model descendants. Our wounds did not begin with us. They were inherited legacies of an empire building madness that saw us not as human, but cheap as a cargo borders. My ancestors were not consented when maps were drained with rules and compasses in Berlin. The borders of Burkina Faso, like those of many African nations, were not carved by our ancestors, but by men who had never stepped foot on our soils, who knew nothing about our languages, our tribes, or our spirits. Today, colonialism has a new face. It wears suits, it holds forums, and it signs contracts in Geneva, and Paris, and Washington, but it still takes without consent. It still dictates instead of dialogue. It still silent instead of listening. If you want to talk about peace, then let's begin with uncleaning the erosion, erosions. That peace is something only you can teach us. 3. On-resource exploitation and the myth of development. They call us developing as if the tale of centuries did not set us back, as if the gold from our lands, the diamonds from our rivers, the oil beneath our feet did not build the very skyscrapers in dark. With this, as assembly says, Let us speak plainly. Burkina Faso is rich. Africa is rich in minerals and cultures and wisdom and juice. But you have taught us to measure richness in GDP and explore value. Your cause is development when a foreign company owns 90% of a gold mine on our land. You call it progress when your security force was combat. Cobalt means mines, but not our children's schools. That is that is not progress. Pro- progress. That is piracy. Piracy. Piracy with legal documents. From now on, we will define development on our own terms. Development that put children in classrooms, not minerals on cargo ships. Development that respected the land, the people and soul of a nation for on sovereignty and interference. Why is that? Why is it that when an African nation makes independence choice, we are called unstable, unstable? Why is it that when we seek military cooperation outside the colonial sphere, we are labeled a threat? Burkina Faso has chosen to walk a path of sovereignty that is not a threat to peace. It is a declaration of adulthood. We are no longer under your guardianship. Guardianship. We are no longer your junior partners in diplomacy. We are free people. If a nation chooses partners that respect it rather than exploit it, that is not a rebellion. That's a wisdom. Let it be known, no foreign power will dictate the alliance of Burkina Faso. We will build relations based on material respect, not historical guide or present day intimidation. Terrorists. and manufacture wars. You ask why there is violence in the Sahel. You ask why your youth take up arms, but you do not ask whose benefits. When our minds are are guarded by private mercenation, mercenaries, mercen, mercen, mercenaries, mercenaries, while our village are left vulnerable. You do not ask how weapons arise in deserts that produce no steam. You do not ask why Peking never seemed to end the war. The truth is many of the so-called solutions to African security problems are merely business models. Endless conflict has become a market, and Africa suffering has become subscription-based service. Burkina Faso has decided to break that circle. We will fight terrorists, but not with dependency. We will secure our nation, not with foreign dictates, dictates, but with national dignity. Seek migration and human dignity. We do not want our Jews drowning in the Mediterranean. We do not want our brightest minds fleeing the countries that one called us savage. Mẹ ơi, con vừa cho nó ăn rồi. We do not want remittances. We want reasons for our people to stay. Why do our Jews leave? Jude, sleep. Not because we lack beauty, but because we are made to lack opportunity. Not because we hate our land. Oh, Papa! Yeah. Not because we hate our land, but because our land is treated as someone else's property. Migration, not a crisis. It is a symptom of wars we did not start, of loans we did not need, of a world order that tells our Jews their only value lies outside their own homes. The solution not board fences. The solution is just justice for saving on Africa place in the world. Africa is not a mistake to be fixed. Africa is not failed continent. Africa is a womb of the world. The 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 cradle of civilization, the keeper of tomorrow's hope. We have been made invisible in global decisions that affect us deeply. At the UN Security Councils, Africa, with 45 sovereign nations, has no permanent seat. What justice this is? You call this balance? We call it betrayal. You speak about democracy, yet he followed a global structure where the powerful feel better the dreams of the many. We will no longer whisper in rooms. We will deserve to speak with full voice and on faith and spiritual dignity. We are a spiritual people. Before your cathedrals, our ancestors sang to the sky. Before your missionary, we knew the language of the rivers and the law of the sacred forest.